Hey, so the other live kind of got interrupted, so I'm coming to finish up what I was saying, and I saved it already, so I'll be posting it back up. But again, we're talking about child on child molestation and ways to prevent it, ways to look out for it, things to look for, things to stop doing, or things to not to do. And a lot of those things are basically allowing our kids or allowing other people kids to play with your kids or for your kids to play with somebody else, meaning this mommy game, kids kissing kids, that can become something bigger than what we think it really is. And although some may look at this and say, oh, she's being extreme, my kid kissed such and such, and that's just cute, they don't know what they're doing. And if you really look it up, that's how it starts. Before I kind of touch on it, because I haven't personally experienced it, and a lot of, like I said, God deals with you in certain topics to talk about certain things. A lot of times things are just me confused and I want to talk about it, and let's say, hey, let's chat. And some things are really God ordained and saying, okay, not this, but this. Our topic was supposed to be adult childhood molestation, which I'll be talking about tomorrow at 6 p.m. And again, like I said, speaking of this, it was God dealing and said it's not just adults that touch on kids. It's not just your cousins that touch on kids, but it's also their sisters, their brothers, their best friend, the neighbors are touching each other. And it's the same age range. And as we kind of ignore it, or as we kind of think it's cute, it becomes bigger than what it is. An 18-year-old molesting a 14-year-old, we're going to take it serious. So we have to kind of take serious a 12-year-old touching a 12-year-old, or a 8-year-old touching a 4-year-old. And even if it happens to be siblings, it's tough. It really, really is tough, but we want you all to kind of look at both perspectives, not only the one being molested, but also the molester. Because a lot of times there's something that's brewed up there. It's something that's happening. If it's the TV that they're watching, if it's something that they're feeling, we want to speak to that kid. We want to get that child help. We don't want to, I know a lot of people say, well, I don't want to tell because that's my son and I don't want my son to get in trouble. But if you get them help at the age of 8, they won't become 21 molesting another kid. They won't become little rapists out here or pedophiles if we kind of support them now. So child on child molestation is just as serious as the father molesting the son, or the neighbor touching the son or the daughter. Kid on kid molestation happens. So kid kissing each other, we should not promote that. I don't think it's cute. You shouldn't think it's cute. I don't think that's something that we should be promoting, that a 6-year-old is kissing another 6-year-old. We don't know what's happening there, and especially the aggressor, which is the one who's promoting the kiss or the one who's grabbing on with the kids. We have to kind of, talk to them, get them help. Now in a generation, we don't feel like therapy works, or we don't feel like it should help, but they do. They have a lot of mentor programs out here. They have counseling here. And if we stop thinking of my child may go to jail or my baby's going to get in trouble, we need to think of, if I don't correct this now, there'll be 18 raping somebody. If I don't correct this now, there'll be 30 molesting their daughter or molesting their son. And that's how we need to kind of fix our mindset to understand child on child molestation will definitely get deeper than just touching their sister or touching their neighbor or going home, going to school underneath the slides. Those things are serious. Very, very serious. So I'm going to post my other live that I put on that I don't know what happened, because I kind of did little statistics and I read facts that's on it, and we talked about how, what's happening out here. But again, you all, there is, if you read your Bible, pray on it, every little thing that we kind of go through that we need to touch base is in there. It really is there, and he can kind of give you guidance for what it is. And like I say, prayer change and God do speak to you, because like I said, my live is tomorrow. Our podcast is tomorrow on childhood molestation, and is with a young lady, Miss Natasha, who's going to touch base on her personal life. But that's, again, adult and kid from my understanding. And we need to understand kids touch kids. Kids rape kids. Kids abuse kids. And that's what we have to get in our head. They're not just kids. This won't just blow over, because before I was a big molester, I was a baby molester. Before I was a big abuser, I was a baby abuser. And someone either just yelled at me, fussed at me, did something, but they didn't get the proper help. Everybody needs a proper help that they need to do. So again, you all, I'm just here again as a kid advocate. Save Us Soul 365. We are a nonprofit youth organization, and the goal is not just to mentor the kids, but to educate the world. It's to kind of bring awareness of things that happen to our kids, so we don't just say they're bad or they misbehave or there's no help for them. There are help for them, and the help starts with us. The help start with me by educating them, by not just spanking them, by not just time-outing them before they hit those juvenile detention centers or after they hit those juvenile detention centers. Don't give up on them, because we don't have to raise rebels. We don't have to raise abusers. We don't have to raise little criminals. We can get them out of that. It's never too late. I don't care if they're 16 or 3. It's not okay. So whatever you don't want your 21-year-old to do, don't allow them to do it at the age of 3. If you don't want your 21-year-old round grabbing on people, don't let your 3-year-old do it, because that's the mindset. At the age of 3, 0 to 5 is where I kind of build, where the kids build their characters, where they understand who they are, where they learn little things. Can we switch them from that mind? Yes. There's a lot of kids who come from certain environments, and we have to kind of retrain them. But if they're in our presence now, we can definitely fix them now. If they're with us now, we can definitely say, well, you know what? It's not okay. You can't touch such and such bottom. You can't kiss on everybody. You can't force somebody to be with you. And these are kind of things that's what's happening. So again, you all, child on child molestation is real. If your 8-year-old is touching your 8-year-old, get him help. If your daughter is 7 and, as we call it, a little fast, get her help. If it's too touchy for you to speak to them, if you can't sit them down and say, okay, what's happening, or what are you feeling, or kind of get into their brain a little bit to communicate with them. But the first thing is not just saying, oh, she's fast, or oh, she's like her mama, or oh, he'll get over it. Because if I'm 7 and into boys, I'm going to be 15 and into boys. I'm going to be 21 and into boys. It doesn't blow over. It stays. And you don't want, like I said, you don't want it to be your kid that's raping somebody else. And you don't want your kid to be on the other end of getting raped. So please pay attention to our kids. Please listen to them. If they're standoffish on a child or don't really feel another kid, don't force them to play with them. If the siblings are constantly getting into it with each other, pay attention to that. Because like I keep telling everybody, child on child molestation is for real. We just think of adults and a child. We just think of, someone, neighbors and coaches. Again, that's what I'll be talking about tomorrow at 6 p.m. But I had to come on and tell everybody how serious it is with the kids and the kids. Kids bother other kids. Kids abuse other kids. So we need to know how serious it is and how to kind of be mindful of it and how to not brush it over the folks' shoulder, just saying, oh, look at little Johnny kissing Susie. No, little Johnny needs to understand he just can't force Susie to kiss him. Little Johnny needs to understand that's not something we do at the age of 4. Let's go read a book. Let's talk about it and say, hey, little Johnny, where you learned that from, or why are you doing that? So we can talk to him now so little Johnny don't become a rapist. Anyways, you all, thank you for joining me. This is kind of like part 2 because my little internet thing messed up before, so I'm going to post that video back up and I'm going to share it. And as you all know, it'll definitely be on our YouTube channel. But meet me again here tomorrow at 6 p.m. I have Miss Lovely Natasha joining me on childhood molestation as she touched base on her personal story and how she's here to testify against what happened to her and to help another soul. As all, I am Ruth Taylor, the president of Save a Soul 365, where changing lives is our mission. So you guys have a great night.